What's up, guys? This is Caster Troy with a video on some Rust PvP tips and tricks. Now, I've played Rust for about a year and a half, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with the game. I've played games like DayZ and H1Z1, which were fun, but I feel their development is behind games like this, simply because the updates that come to this game are, there's always something good added, and it's not taking away the game, unlike DayZ, where you get an update or two and the game is almost unplayable, or they add stupid things to the game, such things like that. So I'm really impressed with this game. Now, I'm making this video mainly to help newer players and people that want to get better at PvP in Rust. Not that I'm the best PvPer player in Rust, but I really want to help out the solo players and new players and anyone wanting to get better at PvP in Rust. Just using things that I've learned over the past year and a half of playing the game. Now, one of the most important things that you need to know, especially if you're starting out, is you got to get used to the guns in the game. I had a really hard time with the AK or the assault rifle when I first started. I couldn't figure out the recoil. So what helped me was taking a muzzle brake and putting it on the AK and then running around with that for a while. That really helped kind of teach me how to control the recoil a little bit. And after some time of using it, I took it off because then I didn't like the spread of it. And I got a good feel for how to use the gun. But the more time you practice with the gun, the better you'll get with it. Just kind of like anything. And I've kind of learned now to use it with a 4x scope, which isn't very common. I don't really see many people doing that. But what that does is it actually frees up an entire slot on my hotbar, because I don't need to use a bolt action rifle anymore to have a close range gun and a long range gun. I can use one in both. And what I do is I'll put a 4x on it for the medium to long range fights, maybe 30 meters to 200, which you can kill people at 200 meters plus with this. It's difficult, but it's doable. I've done it. And then another thing I like to put on it is a boost for the close range. I don't use the sights much on it. I just use the regular iron sights, but that's just me. I feel the AK is probably the best overall gun. The M249 is better, but it's harder to get, so if you have one, hold on to it. It's an excellent gun. I've killed lots of people with that, with a scope on it. It's an awesome sniper rifle. And it hits hard. It's 2 shots to the head really quickly, and they're super accurate shots. The gun is amazing. I'm not a huge fan of the LR300. I just think it shoots a little too slow, and its damage is slightly less than the AK. It's not a terrible gun, and I will use it if I don't have an AK, but I prefer an AK over that any day. Now, another thing that's helpful is making sure you have a good hotbar loadout for PvP. Obviously, you want to have your gun, whatever your style of play is, and then you need to have health, which I use berries and medkits and syringes and bandages. Now, in this video, obviously, there's a ton of that, because this is a battleground server and this isn't the usual what you're going to see or anything. But make sure you're carrying a good chunk of berries with you when you go to fight, because they're going to save your life in the middle of a battle. Because there's going to be times when you get shot and you need to heal right away, and that's the best way to do it. Every time you take a bite of a berry, you will heal 10 health. And the syringes and all the other medical supplies will get you healed up quickly, where the med kits and bandages mainly stop bleeding, which is important too. You gotta remember that. Another thing I want to talk about is effective use of cover and different tactics to deal with when you're reacting to how people are fighting you. Now, if you come into a group, one thing that I've learned to use that's been very helpful is called a tactical retreat. Because it's not likely you're going to be able to take out 3 or 4 different guys at one time. They're going to gang up on you and overtake you. So it's a smart idea to engage them and pull them away from where they're at, and as they're doing that, turn around and shoot at them and try to pick them off one at a time. You will thin them out and get them out of their cover, and a lot of times you'll find that you will be able to survive these fights and actually come ahead out of it. It's very useful. Something the Germans did in World War II and worked very well. Another thing you want to do is make sure you're using cover correctly. When you're getting shot at, you know, obviously duck and hide. Don't just ignore cover. It's important. Carry around external walls with you if you can, because if you're in an open field and you have no cover, you're in a lot of trouble. If you can throw up a wall, you can hide behind that wall, heal up, reload, and all that good stuff. It's very important to find good cover. The last thing I want to talk about is using stealth effectively when you're PvPing. If you are going to use a silencer, be very wary that it will reduce the damage you do, but it is effective when someone doesn't know where you are and you want to get the drop on them and ambush them. That silencer can make a big difference. Not only can they not hear you, they can't see where your bullets are coming from either. So it really helps out when you need to sneak up and ambush people. Just be very cautious when you do that, because the reduction of damage is pretty severe. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this helps out any new players that want to play Rust, and if you have any other suggestions, please feel free to comment below, and thank you for watching the video.